Press conference with Kansas coach Lance Leipold. We will start off with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions from the media here in Arlington. First, statement from Coach.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd just like to take the time to apologize for not having the opportunity to be there in person. It's unfortunate we could not get clearance to Bart Lawrence here this morning. Nonetheless, extremely excited to be with all of you today. Excited to be here at the University of Kansas. It's been an exciting few months with a lot to do in a short period of time. But through that time, getting a chance to know our players, really come to appreciate their attitude and efforts, and accepting this change and their excitement to turn the page and put Kansas football back on the track to be a consistent winning football program. Our new strength and conditioning coach, Matt Gildersleeve, has done an exceptional job. Really, because of the timing, so much has fallen onto his hands to implement culture, expectations on how we're going to go about running our program, but also the main parts of our strength and conditioning program in and of itself. Timing of taking this position is unique, but one that we fully embrace. And I think for many of us in our past and our path to really the Big 12 Conference is one that we've had to work in different situations, many times in our careers without spring football and without players around in the summertime. So many of those things we've looked back on, and we're going to use those resources and kind of get us to work towards camp. And once we get towards August here, we know it's going to be critical in the first couple weeks, getting things taught, implemented, executed, creating that culture of competition as we have to have a short period of time to evaluate this roster and get us ready for opening week against the University of South Dakota. But we have two players that were scheduled to be with us down there today. Kwame Lassiter, who's a super senior, who's been just an outstanding young man who's worked extremely hard, and his father played in this program. His brother's in the program. He's committed to the University of Kansas and Jayhawk football, and I'm so proud of his attitude from the first time he walked in my office, as well as Kenny Logan, starting safety, who's again, these young men have gone through a lot of changes in the way they've embraced it and accepted change, but are really ready to help lead this program into its next chapter. With that, I guess I'll open up for questions.
All right, we'll start taking questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Go up to the top right here. And please, when you do ask your question, please state your name and affiliation, as Coach cannot see you. So please go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Ken Capps from Football Writers Association of America.
If there's any, I'm unable to hear at this time.
So, Coach, can you hear me?
One more time. Coach, Ken Capps from Football Writers of America. What is it going to take to finally get Kansas football back on the map?
Well, the question is, what's going to take to get Kansas football back on the map? I think it's, there's no simple quick fixes in building a program or in rebuilding a program. Our approach is going to be consistent in what we're going to do, consistent in our recruiting methods, starting locally, and again, spreading out throughout the nation within the Big 12 footprint. Our expectation is it will be very similar to other places that we've been, is that we're going to expect and want our players to continue to work on daily improvement. We have to be a program that's going to take care of the finer points of the game and continue to build consistency and confidence in each and everything that we do.
All right, we'll take a question here.
Cole Thompson, LonghornsCountry.com. Coach, I just want to get a personal question on you and your journey from what you've been able to do at Division III football to what you did at Buffalo to now going to Kansas. What are some lessons that you've learned along the way and how it will help implement rebuilding a program in Kansas?
What are some lessons you've learned from Wisconsin, Whitewater, and Buffalo that'll help you in Kansas?
Keep looking forward. I think whether it be successful or when programs haven't had successes, you can't spend any time looking in the rearview mirror. Look through the windshield, keep it a day at a time. Don't get too far ahead of yourself or too far behind. Be where your feet are at and continue to work each and every day to be a little bit better than you were before. I think those are things that we've taken when things have been going well for us and through the tougher times. I think the other thing I didn't really probably touch on here earlier is I think the stability and consistency within our staff that we've been able to have at both those previous stops have been very impactful to our young men, that they have the same voice within the same schemes of doing the same things that our players, and give them the best chance to be successful and continue to build and get better daily when they have the same consistent message. Right now, we're walking into some situations where a guy's on his fourth position coach, and that's hard to build consistency when things are starting over. So again, that's going to be the plan, and I'm very confident that we'll be able to do that with staff stability.
All right, we'll go to the front left here.
Danny Davis, the Austin American Statesman. Lance, I know you just got there, but what are kind of your first impressions of Jason Bean and kind of the quarterback competition and how that is?
What are your opinions of Jason Bean in the quarterback competition?
I'm excited about all our quarterbacks, and we have quite a few in camp. And the one thing, I guess, if kind of going off the question from before about our last two stops, is one of the things that we want within our program is the culture of competition. And our players know that they're going to go out each and every day to compete. And there's the unique thing about getting this job without spring practice. I was in town for the spring game, but as I've said before, I think I didn't get a chance to really watch more than 5 plays in a row without shaking another hand or meeting somebody. So to really say that I've had a chance to watch guys in person to get an evaluation has not happened. And so whether it be Jason Bean or Jalen Daniels, Miles Kendrick, or any of our young quarterbacks that we have, that'll be in August. We do feel that our practice model is going to give us a great opportunity to evaluate and make decisions, but we know that we'll have to do so in a fairly fast period of time.
Okay, we'll go to the mid left here. A question? Anybody with a question? Oh, go back to the front.
Coach, Cole Thompson, LonghornsCountry.com. Just want to overall get your thoughts on this defense. You've been able to fix defenses with the Bison and what you were able to do at Wisconsin Whitewater. What's your big key element, especially on that first and second level, with containing some type of balance in this year?
What's the importance of keeping containment on the first and second levels of defense, and what are your overall thoughts on our defense?
Well, eventually keeping containment and preventing big plays. I think that's one of the things when, especially if you play in a explosive conference like this is, everybody talks about the explosive playmakers, but if you're not playing well on first and second down and you're not fundamentally sound and giving up big plays on those downs, it's hard to get off the field. And those are things that we're going to have to do a better job of, and fundamentally in a lot of different ways. And I feel that our defensive staff will start that on day one, and we'll be a better defense by doing so.
Or we'll go to the back right.
Hey, Coach, Cole Carmody with Go PowerCat. I just was curious about your championship pedigree at the Division III level, if you can kind of translate that to the Division I level.
Will you be able to use your Division III pedigree at Wisconsin Whitewater to translate to a Division I?
I don't know that Division III pedigree. I just like to say it's my experiences in college football. I like to use, but I think there's things along the way. I like to say it's just the way that you go about it, and each and every day in your preparation. I look at my time at the University of Wisconsin under Barry Alvarez, having a chance to work under Frank Solich at Nebraska. I've had a chance to work under some really outstanding football minds during the game. And again, I would say though, when you talk about the Division III pedigree and things like that, I think it's well known and rightfully so, the job that Matt Campbell's done at Iowa State, and from his background and everything that he does, and congratulations to him. There's many of those things that can be looked upon that we should be looking to install and probably will into our program. And whether that's Division III mentality or just going through things, we'll use all resources that we can to build this program the right way.
And if you have a question, please raise your hand. Okay, we have one.
David Smoke, Sikkim 365 Radio. Coach, would you describe the game of Jacob Gall, your former center at Buffalo, and what he could bring to the table at Baylor?
Talk about Jacob Ball and what he'll bring to Baylor. Can you talk about Jacob Ball and what he'll bring to Baylor?
Jacob Gall?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Jake Gall was a young man who was a very versatile interior lineman for us at Buffalo. Hard-working guy, blue collar offensive lineman. I think Coach Aranda got himself a very fine football player there, and wish nothing but best for Jacob as he moves forward.
We have a question up front.
Coach, just want to get your overall thoughts on Kenny Logan, for him to be able to be the leading tackler, lead the team in interceptions, and for him to come back and buy into what your culture is. How big is that in an impact for your secondary?
How important will Kenny Logan be this year? He led your team in tackles and interceptions, and now he's back. How important will he be to the success this year?
Kenny's a key component to this program in many different ways, and you talk about his athletic ability. He's one of the starting safeties returning, so he's one of the leaders in the secondary community. with all of you, and we've got to find a way to persevere through it. And again, our young men have been through a lot in a short period of time, but I'm confident that these young men, just like many of these young men across the country in this age group, they can persevere through a lot of things, and I know this group is wanting and willing to do so.
All right, thank you, Coach, and good luck this
Again,
season.
guys, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I know this just didn't go as smooth as the rest, but if there's anything I can do to get a hold of our communications people, I'd be glad to answer any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.